All right, so today and tomorrow, depending on which day you're not testing, you are supposed to be working on a formative titled function notation. It might be called functions and function notation, I'm not sure. But either way, you're practicing deciding whether something is a function or not, and then evaluating something that's in function notation. So remember, for functions, we have our supplemental aid piece that looks like this, and we put x's in it. So remember, no repeating x's means it's a function. So if you have a table, x's and y's, and you have 1, 2, 3, 1, and these two ones that are repeating x's do not have the exact same number. So if this is 4 and this says 4 also, so this would still be a function because the same x value gives you the same y value. But let's say, actually, I'm just going to add a negative in front of that. Let's say this one maps to -4 and this one to +4. This would not be a function because you have repeating x's with different y values. So that's what you're looking for in a table. But then let's say you're looking at a graph. So remember, we have this thing we've talked about a couple of times, the VLT, the vertical line test. So if you have a graph, let's say it looks like this, and you're supposed to determine is it a function or not. You draw a vertical line, and if it passes through that graph more than one time, then it's not a function. So here, everywhere you draw a line, it's passing through it twice, except for here, it's only passing one time. But if there's any vertical line that you can draw, and it'll pass through that line more than once, then it is not a function. So that's called the vertical line test. So those are the two different ways you determine if something is a function or not. So the other thing I want to talk to you today about is function notation. So remember, function notation is, so let's say we have y equals 2x plus 3. Function notation is, instead of y, we say f of x equals 2x plus 3. They mean the exact same thing, but this is function notation. So we should be able to evaluate things in function notation. For example, let's say, given f of x equals 2x plus 3, so we're ignoring this one now. Find the value of f of 3. What that means is plug in, notice it was x and now it's 3, so we're going to plug in 3 wherever we see x. So plug in 3 here and plug in 3 here. So f of 3 equals 2 times 3 plus 3. 2 times 3 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. So f of 3 equals 9. So that's all you're doing. You're plugging in the number. So you do have to be careful. Let's say given g of x equals negative x plus 3, and then find g of negative 4. Remember, we're plugging in negative 4 for x only. That means there's still this negative here. So we have negative 4 plus 3. The opposite of negative 4 is positive 4 plus 3, which is 7. So g of negative 4 is 7. Basically, this is giving you an x and a y value. This is the y value, or sorry, this is the x value. It's giving you the y value. So that's how you actually plug it in and do the work, the math. But remember, you can use Desmos for function notation. It makes it a lot easier. So let's go to Desmos here. If you have, let's say they gave you the function g of x equals negative x plus 3, the function we just got done talking about. And then it says find g of negative 4. That's the one we just did, I think. It tells you what it is right there. So again, g of 3. It tells you what the answer is. But notice they both have a g. You can't change g of x to y because then all of a sudden it's not giving you an answer for these because it needs this g of x to know what to plug this negative 4 into. So when you're given a function notation problem that says, given this function in function notation, find g of or f of, then make sure that you type it in exactly as it's written. So let's say we had a couple of different functions. You have g of x, f of x equals 3x minus 2, and h of x equals, x squared plus 5. So you can type all of them in, and then if you're finding h of negative 1, you just type in h of negative 1. So basically it goes with this function h. If you type in f of 9, it goes with this function because the names match. All right. So in your formative, you're going to have questions where you're evaluating functions like this, and then you're going to have questions where you're determining if something's a function or not. So hopefully this will help you. That's your goal for today, whether it's Tuesday or Wednesday, whichever day you're not testing. The formative is what you were supposed to be getting through, and it will be for a grade. Have a good rest of your day.